broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping track.
Up at the Dunant as well. So we love the birds, but we also love putting it in the bottle too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You gotta appreciate the fact that they love that really nice fruit. So there you go.
Yep.
You can't go wrong. But it seems like it's such a tedious part of the process, though. I mean, it's this gigantic roll, and it's got to be done strategically throughout the vineyard, right? I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. Fortunately, the Dunants have a really great partnership with Elias Torres, who his crew puts it up, and they do a lot of really difficult things like that at Rick's direction. So Rick manages the vineyard, and they help to supply the labor.
Well, it's a lot of work, I'll tell you, because some of the spots aren't that easy to get to. So now tell us a little bit about this wine, the production side of it, and how you're fermenting it, and then secondary fermentation for how long, and what's the real goal here in this wine? What do you really want to get out of this?
Well, what we really want is for the vineyard to speak, and we don't use any inoculated yeast. It's all wild fermentation.
Okay.
Both primary and secondary. So the malolactic fermentation is also native as well.
Okay.
And frequently the malolactic fermentation won't even finish until the following year, which you know, a lot of winemakers here in California would say that's not practicing safe winemaking. But it's what helps to coax out all the nuances of that particular site. It's the native flora that exists out there. So it's the way to go for us. We also, for this particular wine, it's 100% barrel fermented, and both primary and secondary. It's kept on the yeast lees for up to 10 or 11 months. And we generally go to bottle unfined and unfiltered, unless there's some kind of a problem in any one year. But we're pretty fortunate in most years. There's a lot of hard work in the vineyard and a lot of watching things in the winery.
And so you're barrel aging the wine. How long are you going to leave it in the barrel before you start to bottle?
Well, this was in barrel for 11 months.
11 months.
And sometimes we go a little bit longer, especially for the Pinots, and certainly for the Monterey, the red blend.
Yeah,
But the Chardonnay is generally 11 months, 10 to 11 months.
And you're stirring the leaves once a month?
Yeah, the lees are, people might not know what lees are, but it's all the yeast and all the solids in the wine that kind of settle down to the bottom of the barrel. And so what we do is we use a very technical device. It's one of my favorite technical pieces of equipment in a winery to bring the lees up to the surface. It's called a stick. In French, it's baton. And you just put the stick in there and you move it around a few times, and that gets all the leaves stirred up into the top of the wine.
It looks like a broken putter, you know? It's kind of like this crazy, you know.
Yeah, that's even more technical. That's called a dodine. And it's a stick with a little putter on the end of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
So you stir the leaves, and you do that once a month or so, or something?
Well, early on, we're doing it towards the end of primary fermentation. We're doing it